So it's Mel Green
And Olivia Newman
of Brunchwives, and we are here with Miss Kesha from Funky Flair Boutique.
Hi y'all.
So my first question is, are you wearing your own stuff? Like, do you exclusively wear your own brands now?
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. I am my own walking billboard. So I think because I have a clothing boutique, it makes sense to wear what it is that I sell and what I do. So from head to toe, it's Funky Flair except for the J's.
Okay. Because I'm obsessed with this blouse.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
But it's sold out. It's fine.
It's sold out. It's sold out. But the leggings are still here.
Tell me a little bit about your location and how Funky Flair came to be. I guess let's start with the name, Funky Flair Boutique. What is that? Where that comes from?
Funky Flair Boutique, the name. Oh wow. At the time I was living in LA and I was sitting at my desk as a receptionist for the Tennis Channel. And I'm like, this is stupid. And I was like, I'm going to open up a store. I always knew that I was going to open up a brick and mortar. And I was like, I need a name. I need a name that's pretty much what it is that I do. So the funky side is the fact of when I was back in my 20s, like y'all, I was out in them streets having a good time. And my style was super duper eclectic and funky. And the flair came from the more conservative side when I was working in corporate America. So I was like, Funky Flair. So hence the name Funky Flair. So that's where it came about. And as far as the location is concerned, I actually found this space on Craigslist. And yeah, super interesting because I would have never thought Craigslist was for actual commercial spaces. And came in here and I'll never forget, the realtor was like, you want it or not? I was like, I need for you to walk out for a second. And I actually literally sat on the floor and I prayed in this space. And came back 2 more times and prayed again until God told me to move. And he was like, girl, you gonna get it or not? And 7 years later, I am here. So, yep, that's the story.
Nice.
Yes.
So you've been here for 7 years.
Yes.
Awesome.
That's amazing.
I appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am. So
Thank
what
you.
did you do prior to 7 years of being here? I know that you've had your other positions as a receptionist, but the overall part outside of a receptionist and here, what else did you do?
Well, before I opened the actual storefront, I've always been in retail. So, sidebar, my mom was a buyer back in the heyday, and then my grandmother was a seamstress and she had a cleaner. So I've always been around fashion. I think it's literally in my blood. So my first job was actually I'm about to show how old I am, was for a company called Wet Seal. And I was a sales associate. Have y'all even heard of Wet Seal?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was Wet Seal, and I started off as a sales associate. And again, being in fashion, I've always just loved clothes and I love customers and I love people. I was telling your sister that I love people. And that position as a sales associate turned into me being an assistant manager. Then it turned into me being an actual store manager. And I think I got too big for Wet Seal. And at the time, Macy's had came and they recruited me. And from Macy's, I've done Forever 21, I've done Nordstrom's, I've done BCBG, I've done BB. Any retail thing that you could think of company, I've worked for them. Whether it was visual, sales associate, whatever. So that's what I was doing. And then as far as the receptionist piece, when I was at the Tennis Channel, I knew that I was moving to Atlanta and I needed to have extra money. So at that time, me being the receptionist was just like, this is a check. I know I'm getting this check every 2 weeks and it's X amount of money to help me move to Atlanta. My story is I love people. I love the interaction of people. So I started literally selling accessories out the trunk of my car. Like I wasn't even into clothes at the time, far as Funky Flair is concerned. So I was selling accessories out the trunk of my car. I literally pounded the pavement. Any salon that you could think of that was in the A, baby, I was in it. And that got to be like really, really big. People were like calling like, where you at? I need some accessories. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? So that got really big, and at the time, I started working in a salon on Edgewood, and I was like, okay, this is getting big. So I did from accessories to the actual clothes, and it got to be a bit much in the salon, like, girl, are you doing hair or are you selling clothes? And I was like, I'm selling clothes. So I actually stopped doing hair, and my very first trunk show was in Reynoldstown in Atlanta. It was hot as hell. It was like 108 degrees. I'm sweating, but I'm selling some accessories and some clothes. And from there, it just got, the word traveled, and I just started doing all the expos and just all of the events in Atlanta. And it got to the point like, okay, this is getting bigger than what I really thought I even envisioned. And I said, okay, I need to give me a space. And when I got my space, that's when it got real. Like, it's real. So, but that's my story. So to answer your question, I didn't start off with a website. I literally was word of mouth. And I think the blessing in that is because I am a people person. I think word of mouth travels further than just, you know, I mean, yes, it's a sense of marketing, but just me talking to people and connecting and people seeing me and their interaction, I think that that's what people know. And then I was like, okay, I guess I gotta get a store. So, yeah.
I love that. That's a very unique position to come in at, especially now where you mentioned this earlier, a lot of things are popping up online first, and people tend to need or want to be successful there first before they open up a brick and mortar. So.
How have you expanded your business, especially during COVID? Because I know when we were prior, talking, you had said that you have online classes. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Okay, so the online classes, I started a workshop back in April of 2018 called Get to It, the Basics of Running a Boutique. And the reason why I started that is back before I even opened up my retail space, I used to reach out to, people that I thought was the ish in fashion, especially here in Atlanta, and I kind of got the runaround. I'm gonna call you back, or okay sis, like I'm like, come on dog, like no. So I was like, I had promised myself that once I got in a position to get and know the business, like really have a role of it, that I would always give back. And my version of giving back is actually having these workshops. And as I was telling your sister, I love the fact that my students that come in for the workshop, I always tell them I want them to surpass me. Like that's the goal. Like for me, I always feel like people are like, it's retail, it's very competitive. No, there's no competition. We're all parallels. It's enough money for everybody. So when you come to my workshop, I'm going to give you the information that I did not have. You know what I'm saying? Nobody told me about getting a fire extinguisher. I went and got my fire extinguisher from Home Depot, and the fire inspector was like, girl, that's cute. No, you have to come to the fire marshal, which was $150. So people didn't tell me about those things in regards to business. So I was like, okay, this is something that people need to know. Because I had the inspector come out here twice with my $20 fire extinguisher, thinking I'm doing something. No, you can't open up until you get the one for $150.
Wow.
Same exact fire extinguisher, but in business you don't know that. So that's the point of Get to It, the Basics of Running a Boutique. And I also do other workshops as well, business, marketing, branding. So anybody that wants to open a business can come to the workshops. So yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a really great opportunity.
Thank you.
And I think a lot of people who watch this are going to need to leverage that because you're clearly thriving. So
well, thank you. Workshop coming soon. I got one coming in spring 2021. So I've had people reach out to me since COVID because people want to open up businesses and things of that nature. So I have another one coming in spring 2021. This is going to be like on steroids because I launched back in 2018. This is personal for me. This one. I'm doing things a little bit differently. I usually have the boutique workshops here in the store. I'm actually going to get a conference room at a hotel because it needs to be bigger because I got a lot to say because I'm still open in COVID. Some businesses and some of my colleagues have had to close down.
Yeah.
And I'm still here. So I need to relay to people how you can survive and thrive during a pandemic.
Yeah. You have an amazing, big, beautiful personality.
Thank you.
Who empowers you to be as bright as you are?
Girl, my mama. My mom and also my granny, rest in peace. They are my backbone. Normally I have a necklace that has my name on it, my mom and my grandma. Like, that is my lifeline. That is my blood. Like, if my granny's no longer with me, but when I wake up every morning, I know that she's looking down on me because she was the fashionista of all fashionistas. I'm an only child. I watched my mom work several jobs growing up and busted her ass to make sure that I am who I am. And when I wake up, that's who I do it for. You know what I'm saying? Like, I cannot be nothing less than great because they were great. And when you have two examples of great women, you can't be a bum. You know what I'm saying? You can't. So yeah. And besides, if I wasn't great, my mommy be my ear. Like, what is you doing? So I just, those are my two.
I love it.
Yeah, those are my two. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. I think we honestly asked everything.
Okay.
Where can everyone find find you at? Physical address, social media.
Okay. Funky Flair Boutique is located in Marietta. Cute little boutique. Yay. We are at 3020 Canton Road, Marietta, Georgia, zip code 30066. We are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. My reels have been popping, y'all. Find me on reels. And website, www.funkyflairboutique.com. That's it.